Thank you for joining Coffee and Convo Houston, live with RE and Chosen. Today we have special guest Leroy Boyd. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so for those of y'all that were waiting for the show, we want to apologize from the deepest of our hearts. Technical difficulties has taken us away this morning. Now, with that, we already know we're almost 20 minutes in, so we need to do a quick recap. Chosen, recap on last week's show, putting in the work.
All right, so last week, if you were with us last week and you missed that, we talked about putting in the work, how important it is to put in that work whenever you're trying to accomplish your dreams, you want to make these goals happen, all of that good stuff. Um, we talked about, hey, what you put into something is what you're gonna get out of it. Y'all know the formula, you know how it is. But without further ado, what we're gonna do is go ahead and get into today's topic. Today, we're talking about
Obtaining and maintaining. Okay, so you got it. You wanted it. You worked hard to get it. So it's finally in your lap. And right now, the only thing you have to keep your focus on is maintaining it, not losing it. As today's show has quickly showed us in the past 20 minutes. Working hard, being able to change course when necessary and still stay on track. Wouldn't you agree?
yep.
Y'all agree? Y'all agree? Oh, your volume. I need your volume.
Whose volume went out, mine or yours?
Leroy's. Nope. Don't hear you. Let's see what we can do with that.
Okay. I see these technical difficulties still
These
happening.
tough, man,
It's all good because we know
it's
where that
all
come
good. We're
from.
going to work it out.
Yeah, it's all good. We know where that come from. It come from them. It come from them attacks.
Can't hear you. Nope, can't hear you.
Okay, so for those that do not know, we were doing this on in our original studio, but the problem there was RE couldn't see or hear me, but me and Leroy could see each other. Now on the platform we started on, it's reversed. Me and RE can see each other. I can see Leroy, but I can't hear Leroy, and we can't hear Leroy.
You
You
still
see how
can't
that
hear you.
you see how that
Check
work?
your check your settings for what is it? For his phone, for his volume,
Audio for your
the
audio.
media,
Yeah.
the audio for Facebook. See if that'll allow you.
Oh
Still can't hear
man.
you. But I'm telling you, this is like one of those days where you want to just throw in the towel and say, I'm just done. I'm done. But no, like I said, when we started out, obtaining and maintaining, sometimes you just have to change your
Well,
course,
see,
you know?
if you notice that for the past few shows that we had, it's always the prequel is always the prologue is always gonna be shown as like something spiritually shows it. So when we did Don't Give Up, we was having technical difficulties so that we wouldn't give up. So here is, hey, it's not, it's still trying to be stopped and we not being stopped right now. So it's going
Correct.
hand in hand with what we want to talk about. So
Correct.
once again, we apologize.
We're apologizing. Yes.
I guess I'll throw out a couple of gems talking about our go ahead and get it started. You know what I'm saying? Because we know y'all got stuff y'all got to do on y'all Sunday. We ain't gonna hold y'all long
Mm-hmm.
like they say in church. We ain't gonna hold y'all long. So obtaining and maintaining. Obtaining and maintaining. Um that one thing that you want and now you got to keep it up. How hard you work to get it and now you have to, make sure that you keep it up. We already know that no matter what you do, it'll never be in the same it'll never be in the same condition 20 years later than it is from when you got it. I don't care what it is. It could be a car, it could be a house, it could be anything material. It could be a relationship. That relationship
Mm-hmm.
or any of that is not going to be in the same condition that it was when you got it 20 years ago. Now, that
being said is, I'm not saying that it'll be destroyed in 20 years, but the way that you maintain it will determine the condition that it is in. So if you take care
That's
of it,
right.
yeah. So if you take,
Now, everything that you decide to do, you need to nurture it in order for it to grow. No matter, no, like Chosen said, if that is a relationship, if that's your job, that's your family, you have to put the time to make it grow. I mean, your garden, when you plant your flowers, they're not just going to automatically just show up off the ground nice and pretty. You have to water, you have to fertilize, you have to prune. These are things that are necessary in everything you put your hands in. You wanted it, now you have to maintain it. When it comes down to your career, you have to study to advance, to move on to the next level, apply for another job, another position. When you are looking to become a singer, an actress, a writer, you have to put in that work to nurture it, to make it grow, to keep it going. I mean, look at Janet Jackson. How long has she been in the field?
a long time. We just gonna go with a long
A
time.
long time.
Since
And
good
she
times.
still, since good times, she still trains. She still do her vocal lessons. She has to do her choreography. She has to practice all of this in order to continue to be where she is. She's still putting out music and doing concerts, correct?
If I'm not mistaken, she is.
If I'm not mistaken, she is.
If I'm not
So,
mistaken, she is. So,
and that's what I'm saying. You have, in order to maintain it, you have to continue to work and grow it. And we still do not. Now we have his camera is out, but
yeah.
you still have to do those things necessary to continue to be top notch, or to continue to advance in your chosen field once you receive it. Um, like I'm saying, I'm going to keep talking about it, just like last week. Last week, my issue was having to do this from the phone. I'm still not comfortable with it, but I had to change courses in order to do what I wanted to
You
do.
had to resort to your secondary measures. You had to resort to your countermeasures. That's what the word I was looking for.
Right?
Your countermeasures. So yeah. So
And trying to do this
uh,
from the studio this morning had us so far behind. Had us so far behind that it's like, and now Leroy is still having technical difficulties trying to get to the show today. And this is
mhm.
like, last week I wanted to jump out of my skin. I want to pull my hair today. I really
Well,
want
you
to pull
can't do
my
that.
hair today.
No,
So
we can't do it.
instead of giving up, we're just looking for different ways of doing things in order to continue to do what we want to do. Chosen, let's run into obtaining and maintaining a relationship perspective. And this is not
Uh,
just a intimate relationship.
right.
This is friendship. This is even your family members, and even our kids. Because a lot of people
Mhm.
feel like once they done had a child, that's it. You yell at them, give them, tell them what to do, what not to do, but they're not spending time nurturing that relationship. Can you give us
Mhm.
some advice on that?
Yeah, I mean, so when we talk about relationships, let's start with something a little simple because there's not a
Okay.
lot. Everybody don't have. There are some out here that don't have children. So
Hmm.
I'll go with, but a lot of people have friends. A lot of people have what they would call a best friend or whatever. So I'll start with that relationship, and then maybe business relationship too, because most people have had a job. So, but we'll start with the most simple and the most easiest to nurture, which should be having a friend, a best friend, or people that are close or close friends. Um, Nurturing that relationship, taking that time out to chill with them, taking that time out to
Can
chill
y'all
with
hear
them,
me?
and yeah, we got you.
There you go. There you
Yeah, there
go.
you go. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, yeah, I had to go ahead on and use the number one prize. My
Oh, okay.
my,
Yeah,
my
that's what's
this
up.
Kevin Gates phone that I have.
So,
Oh, so we were, and this is a prime example of what we were talking about. having to change courses to maintain that momentum, to maintain your object of, let's say, of affection. Okay. So Chosen, you was talking about relationships.
Yeah, well, yeah. So we're talking about, nurturing friendships. Your
Mm-hmm.
real friendships. You want to make sure, take out the time to maybe go chill with them, listen to some of their problems, and uplift them. Those are like some of the three core things dealing with friends. I mean, with friends and family. Uh, but if you just never like take the time out to go see them, or you just talk to them, you might not talk every day, but even in that absence, there are things that you might miss. There are things um, that they, life goes on, time goes on, and and
Mm-hmm.
and even when you miss it, there's still a reaction to that. So whenever you take time out away from your friends. The connection, depending on the type of friends that you are, y'all connection is still there. But hey, that nurturing that relationship could be um that much stronger versus like just not as much. So what you put into it will determine how strong it is and how it will grow, how it's maintained. So that's the same thing with especially with romantic relationships, that to get it, to get that person that you were pursuing, finally got them. What do you do now? As what do you do to maintain that? You already know what um the core goal is, or you already know what the core requirements to maintain that relationship. So all it is, like we said last week, putting in the work and continuing to do what it is that you did to keep it going. So like,
Mm-hmm. To
then
keep
we
it
can go
going.
into materialistic things too as well to keep it going. You wanted this car, so you worked hard to get the car. You got the car, so now you got to keep the oil change. You got to keep that. You got to do that preventative maintenance. You got to do, um, not just the cosmetic things that you want to have it. You got to keep gas in it. Not just the cosmetic things that
Mm-hmm.
you want to keep flashy, but you got to do all that other stuff. 9 times out of 10, I think most people, they when they work hard for something, they already have it in their minds that, okay, this is what I got to do. Some people. Now, sometimes when you go off, now the difference in some of that is you got your flashy people, the people that want to obtain stuff just to be seen and just
Just
to
to be
have stuff,
seen.
just to be seen and just to have stuff, and they get it, and then it's like, okay, they don't. Some people just don't take the maintaining it part as serious as they should. So you go get this car. I go with a car. So everybody should have a license to drive. So you go get this car, and you didn't just because everybody got it. So you find out that
Mm-hmm.
bad boy got $100 oil change.
Mm.
That ain't what you signed up for. You find out this car that you really, really, really
$60
wanted, you
to
got it
fill
now.
that tank.
It's $60 to fill that tank, $100 oil change, and that weighs up on you. So you wasn't expecting you wasn't expecting for that maintain
Mm-hmm.
maintenance to be more than what it is that you wanted. So now you've signed up for something more. You bit off more than you could chew.
Okay.
So
Good
that's where
point
the
right
issue
there.
comes in.
Leroy, welcome to the show.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. For our visitors, this is Minister Leroy Boyd. And I'm going to do a plug here for you. Uh, Check out his website, leroyb.wixsites.com, for his new project, his ministry. What, Another Day, Another Chance?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. As long as we got another day, we most definitely got another chance.
And believe it or not, this goes with today's topic, obtaining and maintaining. Because out here in today's society, we have a lot of people that's looking for that second chance.
Yeah.
Would you like to take us on into that, into your ministry?
Well, yeah, we could just talk just a little bit about that. Well, it's basically for people that have issues, and if I'm not mistaken, I think all of us have some issues that we can use some extra help to help work us through, to coach us through. We don't have all the answers. We may claim to be a know-it-all, but in the end, we know that we are learning people. We are forever
Mhm.
learning. And so with that, everyone can use a helping hand to help guide them and instruct them along that journey. And so the ministry is based on just that, for me to help to become your number one motivator to help you get to the next playing field in your life so that you can reach a level upon level of success. So basically,
Just like coffee and convo.
just like coffee and convo.
All right. So, what do you have to say about today's topic? Obtaining and maintaining, career wise, relationship wise, family. And just like you stated, like we stated, everyone is looking for that second chance, and just as your ministry. So, can you give us some input on obtaining and maintaining to help
Yeah,
us elevate to that next level?
to obtain some is to acquire, to get a hold of, to maintain is to secure, to keep it steady, to keep it going. When you think about obtaining something, to receive something, to get something, uh, it's going to require your focus, and so you have to put your attention on the very thing that you are trying to obtain, maybe by setting goals, certain avenues and things. It may take a little studying, a little reading, a little research to obtain what you're trying to obtain on a bigger level. Some things may not take all of that, such as we spoke about earlier, relationships and things like that, meeting the right one. Still, it takes your attention to know that you are meeting the right one. Are y'all compatible? Certain things that you may want to know about this person, and for that person to know about you, to see if y'all are on the same wavelength and going the same place. Because in the end, even scripturally based, it's about being a helpmate to one another, not just the woman to the man, but the man to the woman. The woman needs help like the man need help, and so they ought to work together as a helpmate with one another. And so, and that's biblical, that's scripture. And so, still, what are you looking for when it comes to help from your significant other when it comes to relationships? So all of these things is going to require your full attention, but most definitely it's good to have some sort of standards in place so you can know whether this person meet this requirement or whether or not this person does not meet this requirement. To maintain basically is to focus your energy on that which has been acquired. And so when you are putting your energy into it, you are putting work into it to make sure that whatever I got, I'm going to keep. It's easy to get certain things, but it's hard to keep certain things. And once again, as we open up and discuss relationships, it's easy to see the person and say, I'm attracted. The person seems to be attracted to me. Shoot, let's go for it. But in the end, as you see how much work needs to put in, some people don't want to put that work in to make sure that the relationship is going in the right place. Some people want to end it more quickly. Some people say, well, this was not my end goal. I have an end goal. It was not just to get into a relationship, but I have a place where I want to end within our relationship. Not that the relationship is ending, but the things that I want to acquire within the relationship. I have to have an end goal plan. And if I'm not moving to that end goal, this helper that's supposed to be my helpmate is not helping me get to where I need to be. I may have to question, reanalyze, and refocus my attention and see if I want to continue to put energy in something that I'm not really receiving anything back in. So
Just like a
yeah,
job, wouldn't you say?
just like a job, just like a job, just like a job, just like a job. I let me take a second just to applaud you. You was in corporate America.
Yes.
You learn things along that journey that taught you, that helped you, and those are skills that you use right now in which you have used to establish your own business. But
Mhm.
the energy that you put in was the same energy. You say, you know what? I'm waking up every morning. I'm going out of my way. I'm giving my all because I am a some and plus some type of person. I give and then I give some more. I could be taking the same energy that I'm helping this company in corporate America maintain their status and use that for myself and use my own energy for my own company and let me work towards establishing me and mine and what I have in mind for goals in the future. So yes, it's still about focusing that energy to maintain and hold the thing that you want.
Now look at that. And again, another day, another chance ministry with Leroy Boyd. You can, what is it? Sign up for, what we say? Go to the
Mm,
website, request counseling for what is it, an hour session at
yeah,
a time.
yeah,
And you do individuals, juveniles, and families, correct?
correct.
Also, my favorite, premarital counseling.
Yeah.
Please look into premarital counseling. Okay, now we're talking about obtaining and maintaining today. Now, as we stated, you set your eyes on something, you want it, you desire it, such as relationships, career, jobs, what have even let chosen, even a house.
Of course, especially a house. I mean, you gotta. I mean, especially a house. Like I'm, I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna go ahead and go to like the flashy things. I'm getting on the flashy people today, man, because it seems like now, I mean, it seems like now um,
People are
we
buying
get
things just
yeah,
cause.
like just to be seen. Like now, because like if
Hmm.
you look at a lot of the Instagram posts and stuff, and everybody looking like they living their best life, and for those that are actually doing the work and maintaining all of that, this ain't about y'all. It's about the ones that's this is about the people that just want to be seen and want to be seen with nice things. So and they're not really maintaining it. So you go get this house and you put in, I'm going to go get this house because everybody got it, but you weren't put, but you're not mentally or you're not mature uh
Mature
to
enough to.
handle what it take, mature
Mhm.
enough to handle what it takes to maintain that which it is that you seek to obtain. So you got to keep your, you say you got to keep your law on up. You gotta, when you're dealing with a house, you gotta make sure that, your AC is good. What happened if that AC go out? It's a lot more things to think about than just going to get that house and wanting to leave the door open for for your boo thing to come through or for your friends to come through and have gatherings. Just a lot that go along with it. Different things can happen. Do you have that mind frame that, okay, let me save this money or let me save some money up and have some money back, back and saved up so that I can have for a rainy day to put it back into my house. There's a lot of things that go with it. Like, so from a house to like a relationship, you wanted to pursue this woman just because she's pretty. So you got with the woman. Now you find out she high maintenance. She like to eat out a lot. She like Birkin bags. She like all this other stuff. But you wasn't prepared to get it for her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, now you can sit up and like and pose like you have all that or whatever. Not even gonna say pose like you have it. By the time you get it and then you find out what it is, like Leroy said, this wasn't my end game. Like I wasn't trying to get what you have to buy Birkin bags and stuff. And then I didn't know you was like that. And you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know it was like that. I didn't know this is what it came with. And you're not equipped with that. And that you're not equipped for that. And that's okay. So a lot of times, we say, okay, I want this. And we don't look at what it takes to keep it. So that's basically what it is that I'm saying. And that was pretty much my bullet point. My bullet point was a lot of times we want things but we don't really know exactly what it takes to keep it or look at the fact that are we equipped to keep what it is we to keep what it is we want to obtain.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry, I didn't mean to repeat them words.
okay, so let's look at it this way. You know you want to work, you know you need money, but you know you're not experienced enough to go out here and go get this $25 an hour job. Does that mean you hold out till you find this job? To someone just says, I mean, and we're being realistic here because when you go out in the world today, almost every company out here or every other company on the block is hiring. The problem is that a lot let's take out the pandemic because we understand that there are people that are in fear and don't want to be in the public because of that. However, you have those out there that still going to work, period. But they refusing to take the job because of the amount that's being paid per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand that it's difficult to maintain, especially with the rent, the car notes, the insurance, the gas, the oil changes, the kids needing this, that, and the other on $7.25 an hour. I get that. But however, you're receiving something. You're receiving something, and then you can put in the hours for that overtime to make something shape. For especially parents out there. Parents know what it takes to maintain for their children. You got to keep a roof over their head. You got to keep clothes on their back. And I'm quite sure, did they stopped the unemployment thing, correct? The extra
Then
money
they
for the
started.
unemployment
I think they started some of that back up. No,
back
what
up
it was,
again,
not that. It was the eviction bans. I think that's what they
the
said. The
eviction
eviction
ban.
bans got stopped.
But see, and that's another thing because now you have so many families out here facing homelessness out of fear of the pandemic not wanting to go work these minimum wage jobs. But that's an opportunity there where you obtain some finances and
Stability.
to
Obtain some.
maintain that roof over your head.
Yeah. So
Okay,
that means you got to
Roy, what
go
you got to
work
say
every.
about that?
Well, no,
Exactly.
I'm in total agreement with you. But you started off talking about the $25 an hour, and you started off talking about the experience part of that.
Hmm.
Well, if you know that you lack the experience and you really, really desire this $25 wage, once again, how do I obtain that? What are the goals that's being set for me to acquire a $25 an hour job? So then what I want to do is focus my attention on setting goals that's going to help me to acquire that. If that means research, if that means school, if that means funding, grant funding, whatever I can do to get a loan or whatever I need to accomplish my set goal, that's what I want to focus my attention on because my end game is this $25 an hour that's going to help me. And then once I get to that level, some people quit in school. Some people say, I
Hmm.
wanted the $25, but the school thing is such a hassle that I don't really want to focus all of my attention on what I need to focus my attention to. And so drop before they get to $25 an hour. But this is where the maintaining comes in. That the maintaining part says, okay, now I need to take my energy and focus my energy where I lack whether things that I don't really want to do, I'm going to work and pour out my energy to do it. If that means staying up late, this young generation, I can't blame it all on the young generation, but they want the monster drink, the monster energy, the Red Bulls, and man, if you need to take your Red Bull energy, monster, whatever going on with the energy, hey, do what you need to do to focus your attention on the education that you need so you can acquire your $25 an hour, which is your end game. And so those things suggest to me if you utilize what's being said and taught today pertaining to obtain and maintain, you can still get what it is that you are trying to achieve. Now, for those that fall in the category of the less paying jobs, the it's a little bit more than I think than $7 an hour, but let's just say the less paying jobs, like you
Hmm.
suggested. Hey, it's a such thing as overtime. I
Hmm.
understand that to be advocate of the lesser right now, that no matter what, you could work and work and work and work, it will not be enough. But it's a
Hmm.
such thing as having two jobs because the end game once again, is to keep a roof over my head and my children's head if I have children. And so it's just ain't no sleep. It's 16 hours a day. It's 8 hours here, 8 hours there, just to meet the requirements of paying bills and stuff that needs to be paid. And so once again, it's going to take to obtain it to get it. Once I get the job, I have to maintain the job, and it's going to take the energy in order to do that. So you're going to be utilizing these two things regardless in your lifetime. one way or another, to obtain it and then to maintain it.
Now look at that. Okay, so no, that is beautiful because this is in everything. This is in everything. Like you said, you have to make plans. You have to set goals. It's in relationships. It's in work. It's in family. It's even when, such as myself, starting my own company. It takes time. Those that know me know I'm constantly going. I'm constantly going. I work from home. I maintain my family. Plus the projects that we do here, Coffee and Convo, beautifully edited. We y'all know me. Y'all know I work, and there are times you won't be able to reach me because somewhere in there I'm going to try to squeeze in at least 4 hours of sleep, minimum, at least 4 hours, because I'm working the rest of the time. We are in the studio, videos, music, chosen, my best friend of 30 years, because sometimes he can't even reach me. But it's about putting in that work. Look, he like, sometimes he can't reach me. But we're saying all this to say, like Leroy said, you need you some energy, go get your energy ball, a monster. Chosen, I was trying to explain to him at one time it used to be no dose. You
Oh
remember the
yeah, no
caffeine
dose
pills?
and coffee. Yeah, no
Yep,
dose and
no dose
coffee
and coffee.
and Vivarin.
It's putting in what you want to get out of it. Now, if you really don't want anything and you want to sit back and keep complaining about not having, that's your choice. Don't do anything.
Well, see, you
But
know what? Complaining. I'm gonna say this. Like I've been guilty of this, but
mhm,
I've been guilty of this because I have had one point in time in my life, and this is speaking from personal experience, where I look around and I see where there's a lot of things that people pursue, and I be like, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? So
mhm,
that's not necessarily saying that I don't want anything. I just might not, I'm just not privy to some of the things that people feel that are relevant. Because like I said
mhm.
before, it's like you have certain things. It's like, okay, when you gain things, okay, eventually things are gonna go away. So it's not saying eventually those things are gonna go away and they won't last. Certain things are temporary that some people rush to go and try to obtain. It all depends. Everybody wants something. So it all depends on what it is that you want. Now, either your
Okay.
wants are something that's different, your wants are something that's different than what the whole of society is. And some people just don't. So it's like, it's not necessarily saying that if you don't want nothing, maybe just
Well,
the
explain
person's
this.
mindset is,
Explain this.
huh?
The complacency. There are some people that are just comfortable where they are.
Happy with where they are?
Hmm.
Okay, well, is that if they're complaining about that, then that's a sign, okay, well, that you know you need to do something. If you're not doing it and you complaining about where you are, then that's a different thing. But if they're happy with where they are and they're complacent with it, and if it's feasible for them, it's not really bothering nobody.
Okay, Leroy.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's good that you brought something like that up because, once again, just even scripture, I know y'all talk a lot about this particular word on the show, or this phrase, biblical phrase, being double-minded, a person is
Hmm.
unstable in all of their ways. A person like that, it's not that they don't want more. Everybody want more. But when you got lazy going about with what you want, yeah, it'll keep you complacent. So yes, I want more, but I'm not willing to do more. I'm not willing to maintain it. I'm not willing to put in the work to keep it. And so therefore, this is an okay place where I'm just chilling on the couch and just watching TV and my movie, and I'm all in all of my different movie apps and utilizing my Fire Stick, and I'm good right now. I'm totally okay, without having the things that I really, really want in life. And so a person like that finds themselves being complacent. So what are you allowing to win out of the laziness that may be in a person and the things that you want? Because those two things when they combine and clash, we get something that is being birthed called complaining. And because the person is not really content, but overall they think they are content. So most definitely that is an issue. Once we able to focus in right there on that issue right there alone and understand what the battle is, what's going on within me. And when I deal with the battle, I'm going to put more energy towards everything that I want. If it's being more lazy, oh, power to you, you know, and do being lazy is being late. Will that really help me to meet my needs over time? What is it over time that I'm trying to acquire? What am I trying to get? Will that help me meet my needs by being lazy? If that's not going to help me over time, then I may need to consider what am I feeding my energy into? Because it don't take a whole bunch to sit down on the couch, watch movies all day long while everyone else pays the bills. You know, there's something wrong with the whole thing, you know.
Yeah. So I mean, because you have some people, and I get that. I get that totally. I totally agree with everything that you just said. But you got some people when they get to where they are, they get comfortable with saying, okay, as long as I have food to eat, as long as I got a car to get me from point A to point B, and I got clothes on my back, as long as I have those things intact, um, they know that, that's, I don't believe that's like being lazy. It's, I have the necessities. I have what it is that I need to have, and I go about my day to day to keep that routine going so that I know that every pay period I pay this, every pay period I pay that, to keep this going so that I won't be out on the street. Some people will sit up and look at a person like that and be like, well, don't you want more? And maybe they just had that. Okay, well, what is more to you? More is different from for everybody. So I don't really sit up. I wouldn't really sit up and say like, I wouldn't really say like that they don't want more. It's just that they've seen, and maybe, and I don't know their background. Maybe they came from a place where just them being content with that was not a was not a luxury then. Being able to have what you have, those basic, I ain't even gonna say basic. That might be just what they want. Being able to have that and maintain that is good for them. What were you about to
That's
say,
fair,
Roslyn?
because there are people. I'm just saying there are people out there that are in that position. So that's fair. Now, the biggest thing about Coffee and Convo Houston is that we try to focus so much on growth. And that's what I mean when I say complacency. I see that that's what Leroy means when he say lazy. It's like there's no desire to grow. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
I
what
get that.
what we're looking at there. That's what I'm saying. If there's no desire to grow, you just rather continue to go around this mountain doing the same thing every day. Every year is the same thing. I mean, think about it. Let's say you run into someone that you've known for years, but y'all missed some time with each other because you're busy doing what you're doing. You get promoted, or either you change jobs, your career has taken off, you've gone on some tours or what have you, and you come back home, and the same person you knew back in the day is doing the same thing that they were doing back in high school. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what about something of that nature? I mean, you go see someone that y'all around the same age and they doing the same thing.
Okay, but what is the same thing? Like they just
Yeah, let's
what?
do it that way. Okay.
Going in a circle.
What did you say?
Going in a circle.
Going in a circle.
Repeating the pattern.
Okay. Oh, I'm what you doing today? Like, okay, I'm gonna speak from my past experiences back when I was younger and not looking to grow. Like Leroy said, you get up, let's say soap opera watchers. From 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Well, back in the day, that's what it was. I haven't seen a soap opera now. I don't know what, but back in the day, it used to be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. soaps. And then you have from soaps, then it started doing, I think it was
Game
talk
shows?
shows,
Oh,
talk
oh,
Talk
shows
shows.
and game shows,
yeah.
What were
talk
game
shows
shows?
mostly. but let's say that routine has not changed for the person that you knew back then. That's what I mean about the growth being stagnated. When you call that complacency.
Yeah, I would because well, complacency, but stuck just yeah, complacency, stuck in your own ways or stuck in the ways that you feel that it can stand in a comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so I look at it in two ways because I have some of these traits. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm sitting up here like I mean I have some of these traits for real. So I look at things like the more okay, I look at things like okay, I go to work, I do certain things, go to work as long as I can eat, as long as I can take care of the things I need to take care of, okay, I'm good. But there are things that have happened in life to be like, okay, this is what made me go, would it be what am I gonna learn? I'm gonna wind up learning something regardless because I wind up talking to people. Same way I
Mm-hmm.
talk to you. There's gonna be things that there are things that come across my mind to be like, I can consider that. Somewhere you're going to grow and you're going to wind up getting nudged out of that comfort zone to either look up something, either you know how we say even baby steps are steps,
Mm-hmm.
or like even oh we will go scripture. We can go scripture with this too. Um saying just like when you have some people that say that they don't believe in the most high, but they still have
Mm-hmm.
knowledge of the most high, or they know of the most high, but they say that they don't, they're still it's there. So one day or one thing is going to happen to, I think one day something's going to happen to everybody, even those people that we say that we find complacency. Something's going to happen to where there's going to be a move. One day, Young and the Restless ain't going to come on no more. And the people that sit up there on the couch will be like, okay, dang, now I got to find something else to do. So you're going to get moved somewhere. Like there's going to be something that's going to entice you or force you to move somewhere. So now, when you say complacency, yes, I totally agree. Complacency does happen. Complacency happens to everybody because
Okay.
because it's almost like sleep. But how long you stay there is how long you stay there, knowing you want something more is where the problem come in. Is if is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay. So, Leroy, what it sounds like he's saying is that it's going to take a trigger.
For some, it
Something is
takes a
going to happen.
trigger.
For some, it takes a trigger.
Yeah. So for some, it take a trigger.
You agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean by trigger?
To like a wake up call.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
For
I
some,
yeah,
it take a wake up call.
I mean, for the person who is going into
Complacent.
something who has been
Mm-hmm.
complacent, well, yeah, switch need to go on. Just the only problem is that sometimes this goes on for years and years and years. And so when you're looking at the fact that this person may have a significant other, and they watching this play go on for years and years and years, at some point, the significant other who's putting in a lot of the work to maintain to try to keep it, going, and that person may get tired,
Oh yeah,
going
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
carrying
That's
everything, the load on their shoulders by themselves, and so that could become an issue when bringing in another party. Now, if the person is by themselves and they are being complacent, I thank the Lord that we do have people that God put in place to give us a word of encouragement, to
Mm-hmm.
motivate us, to spark us up, and hopefully a light bulb will go on with that person that's living by themselves. Say, you know what, I'm just tired of this. And some people have taken that advice and jumped up and just turned their whole life around. And so I understand when we are looking at relationships, when we look at that and you have the person that's carrying all the weight watching the person that's going in a circle and being complacent, give them a sound advice, and say, hey man, look at this. Hey man, what about this? Hey man, you want to switch up this? Hey man, this is what I see in your routine. It's not some of it's not beneficial. Some of it may be taken away from what we are doing. We're not together helping build towards the bigger goal. What is the bigger goal? We're not working together to build that bigger goal in the end. And so it's an issue. So there it may be some friction. So from that static, yeah, it's time to make a firmer decision on, are we moving in the same direction, or are we not? Are we clashing? Or one just here, and I'm not trying to go nowhere, while the other person is there. Now, if you have a person that is on your side, I don't mind helping carry everything. You have men like that say, I'm going to carry the wife. She can stay at home. I don't want her to work. She ain't got to do nothing. I'm just going to carry everything on my shoulder, and I'm fine, along with the 5 children that we got. I'm good. Some men are good, and some men are not, So you can find some friction in the relationship when it comes to that sound advice coming from someone that can trigger something in that person to help motivate them, to help fight together, help maintain together, help pour energy in together, because it's better when you got two going in the same direction rather than one
Yeah, I was
that's
just getting ready to
pulling
say
the
that.
other
Because,
with you along the
yep.
journey.
I
Okay.
was gonna.
Chosen.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Because I mean, sometimes I mean, what it is it's always better to have it to where both of you have an understanding as to where you are, where you are in life or what it is that you expect from life. It's always good to have that talk to say, hey, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, and I'm fine with this. Um, I'm good with somebody telling me what they're fine with, because whenever you telling me what you fine with, more if you tell it, if I'm fine with what you're fine with, then it's a little bit better. So whenever I say, okay, having more after that, that's fine. If it doesn't happen to where it's like, okay, there's an elevation, which there should be an elevation, but if it doesn't have an elevation, it's not a deal breaker. So like you might have somebody that's a homebody, and you
Mm-hmm.
get another homebody. They don't mind. They don't mind uh Netflix and chill. They don't
Netflix and
mind
chill.
they don't mind Netflix and chill. They don't mind having uh gatherings and stuff like that. Staying at home is cool for them because they're fine with it. Now if you get
Mm-hmm.
around somebody that loves going out, and a homebody, then that can cause what Leroy just said was friction.
Friction.
So going back to maintaining and obtaining, is you have to understand what it is that you're going after. So if you're pursuing a relationship with somebody and you want to obtain this person, but then you find out that this person is outgoing, but you like to stay in, then you might want to reconsider pursuing, that type of person. Because sometimes we also do this. Sometimes we be like, okay, maybe we'll balance each other out. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they can
Yeah,
teach me something. Maybe
that's a
I
big
might
one.
like, yeah, maybe I might like, maybe after I talk to this person, I might like going out. Maybe they can show me this and this. But see,
Mm-hmm.
when that person is not, they're not thinking that you get with them and you tell them that, then some people are not cool with teaching. Some people want
Mm-hmm.
you to be on the same. Everybody wants somebody that's on the same page most of the time. I don't have a problem with teaching you some things, but when you just totally void and everything, you might need some more time in certain arenas before you come deal with me. You know what I'm saying? So if I don't know how to like if you want to travel, but you don't have a passport, like it's like, okay, well, I tell you what, you take this time out to go fill out this application. Oh, you didn't know that's what go with it? Okay, yeah, you need to do some homework before you come deal with me, because this is what I like to do. And you starting at level 1 and I'm on level 50. So we need to rethink what it is that you're trying to do. So it's so much easier to have it when you're on the same wavelength as somebody. So if you like to travel, they like to travel. You meet that person, it's like, well, you been such, yeah, I've been there. You got your passport. How many stamps you got on your passport? Okay, then it now becomes fun. It's like, okay, by the end of such and such, we gonna have 10 more stamps, and then you down with it because you know what you're doing. So in order to so obtaining and maintaining, um, know what it is that you need to know what it is that you're going after to see if you meet the prerequisites to actually have that in your circumference. So I mean, that's it. But I
Like how
wanted to
you
touch
wrapped
on
that
that
up.
whole complacency thing. Yeah, but I
Okay.
wanted to touch on that whole complacency thing though, because I think now in today's society, people look at comfort as a bad thing. Enough is never enough for enough is never enough to him who enough is too little.
Hmm. Okay.
And it's not a bad thing. If like you get to where you
Comfort, let me
okay.
say, comfort is not a bad thing. There is a such thing as, okay, like we started out saying, setting goals, knowing what you want and how to get it. So yes, you get that house. That does not mean that 5 years later you need to pack up, sell that house, and go get a bigger house. You see what I'm saying? So let's say your goal was to get that 3 bedroom or 4 bedroom house with a nice yard and a pool in the back. Why move somewhere else? Unless the house is falling apart, your family has grown so big that you need another house. But I'm speaking of, when I say comfort, I'm talking about the shoebox apartment, and that the hood you grew up in, not because you can't afford to move anywhere, but just because that's what you used to doing or
Mhm.
like doing, or you afraid to step outside of that
Yeah,
comfort zone. You
right.
understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. You're not trying to advance.
Right.
So
Yeah. Or like yeah, like you go in, you could like okay, we'll go back to the complaining part too. Like you said, man, shoot, I hate to see how these people keep on coming up in the neighborhood, making the neighborhood look like this, and no one's doing anything about it. Or I'm tired of listening to these sirens and all of that. And that right
that
there is
kind of
like the
stuff.
fire up under your butt. That fire is up under your butt to say, okay, now it's time to pack up and move. But once you get to the point that right there can do that. Now, I do understand that there are some give and take, but it depends on that individual. It's like, okay, well, we got here. Now, we know everything ain't finna be perfect, but we got here. But
Hmm.
what are we going to withstand? What are we going to accept? If there's some things that you just don't accept about your surroundings, then by all means, uh, go do what it is that, you need to do to improve that, because then again, that's what you want. So if you
Hmm.
want so if you know what I'm saying, if you want a certain view, if you want a certain view from your window, but you're not getting it, um, that could be
See, and
like
I can
one
see that
thing.
that trigger,
Yeah,
that trigger you talking
yeah.
about.
So like if you
All
want
right,
a certain view, and you okay, go ahead.
we're gonna go ahead and have to wrap up. I know we went over our 11 o'clock time because again we had technical difficulties in the beginning that put us back put us back 20 minutes. So I wanted to make sure you enjoyed Coffee and Convo Houston today. Um, Leroy, thanks for joining us. Is there any final words you want to add to today's topic?
No, just once again, if you ain't planning on working for something, there is no need to try to keep what it is that you really want. No work mean, I think, biblically, if you don't work, you don't eat.
You don't work, you don't eat. It's another one. Doesn't he say, is it slothfulness leads to
Slothfulness.
poverty?
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Slothfulness leads to poverty. All right. Well, he didn't took my final words and wrapped it up and put it in a nutshell. So I hope you enjoyed today's topic, obtaining and maintaining with Coffee and Convo Houston, live with RE and Chosen. Today's special guest, Leroy Boyd. Again, you can go to Leroy's website, leroyb.wixsite.com. Sign up for some counseling sessions that are hour long, view the information and the quotes. um, I'm amazed at him joining us today and the words he even put in. He made this topic very interesting. And again, we're not speaking just on relationships and marriages. This goes for work, education, health, because stress. Once you got rid of the stress, you have to maintain it. High blood pressure from stress, you have to maintain good health. And today's society, a lot of us are focusing on maintaining mental health. That is very, very important. So please take
Hmm.
some of these techniques that we've put out here, the things we've talked about, and apply that to your daily life. Hope this helps you elevate to the next level. Love you. See you next time.
God bless.
Yeah, bless.